Hey YouTube, Godless Lesbian. So I said I would start doing videos again, and I am fucking trying. Honestly, it's just been kind of a rough week. I started a new job, which has been nice. I'm a receptionist, so that's kind of cool, and my phone is going crazy, so that's not good timing. Um, so yeah, got a new job. I'm a receptionist. It's at a really cool company with like lasers and shit. Back in manufacturing, so that's really cool. And Valentine's Day is a fucking hard day for me. So I had a really tough day. Um, Basically, that's when, well, as a kid, I realized this on Valentine's Day because it was like part of the PTSD thing is shit just comes back to you. Um, so I was remembering that sometimes, because it was my mom and stepdad's anniversary, they would basically make themselves a nice steak dinner and all that stuff, and then lock me and my brothers in my bedroom to, have a nice night to themselves. Which doesn't sound like. Okay, I'm gonna say it doesn't sound that abnormal, but it might. I don't know. Um, and we weren't technically like locked in the room, but we were like yelled at and chased back in and threatened if we left. And I was expected to like entertain my little brothers and stuff. That's why they couldn't go in their own room, but whatever. So that was something that came up, but the biggest thing is my ex-husband. Our first Valentine's Day together, he gave me a promise ring. And it was either that night or the night after or a few nights after. I don't remember the exact date. But I had a drink with him and his friend. And I'm pretty sure it was that night. And I don't remember anything from that night. I woke up the next day in his friend's bedroom on the floor, next to the guy, and my pants and underwear on the other side of the room. And like I didn't have any pain or anything, so it made me think that nothing happened, and I freaked out and I was panicking. I was like, what happened? He said, nothing happened. You probably just took them off in your sleep. But I don't, like, never slept naked because I was, like, molested as a kid and shit. So, like, that would be something I wouldn't do. And I was, like, 3 months clean of cutting at the time. So, like, I still had, like, fresh scars and shit that I couldn't even wear shorts, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to the swimsuit things, like, I didn't do any of that. So, it makes me think that something happened with either him or him and his friend, and I don't know what happened. And for weeks afterwards, they made jokes that I was going to get pregnant by one of them by sitting on the toilet seat. And I wish I had gone to the emergency room that day. Even if nothing had happened, the fact that I'll never know is what really gets to me. And then Valentine's Day was also like one of those things that he was an asshole all year round, but like I guess tried to make like a scene or something, or tried to play, like make appearance or something like that, like have flowers sent to my work and stuff like that, to kind of make it seem like everything was normal. And it's just funny because the person that I'm dating now, he's like, I don't need a day to remind you that you're loved. Like, I'm gonna do that every day, and I'm gonna treat you well every day. So we already decided that's pizza and beer day. So I spent it with In-N-Out. That's besides the point. I got my hair done. Not that exciting. It's a little gingerish again, which I really missed. And then yesterday, when I went to lunch at work, I thought I saw him. And I didn't like freak out externally, but internally I did. I was panicking. I thought, like, the moment I got back to work, I had to use the restroom because it like literally scared the shit out of me. So that wasn't fun, and I didn't have my anxiety medicine, so that made it even more fun. And then on actual Valentine's Day, I had like body memories, which I never thought was a real thing until I started actually researching PTSD. And like, your body holds on to trauma. It's basically the way it tries to process it. So part of that isn't just flashbacks and dissociation, but it's also like physical sensations. And so I was having that in very sensitive areas while at work and trying to answer the phone and trying to be professional and shit. So it was a rough week. And even now, just like talking about it, I'm getting like all shaky and jittery and shit. But I know it's probably a good thing. God, last weekend I went out and I was so completely disassociated. It was really weird. Yeah, so I found a website through Mr Atheist. Not a website, a blog through Mr Atheist, as you can see on the screen, called Biblical Gender Roles. Bimboco? Jesus Christ. So I'm going to try to read this out loud, which is difficult for me. I know how to read, but for some reason when I read out loud I get all like tongue-tied and shit, and we'll see how this goes, because I've never done anything like this before. And I have a new layout and shit. I'm using OBS, and I figured out how to use it. I'm super excited. So yeah, I'm moving up in the world. Not really, but whatever. So yeah, I found this, and I found this article. And I'm not going to read this first part, because it's basically just, you know, this bitch wrote to me, telling me her problems, and I'm going to give her really bad advice. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the letter and give my own advice while reading a little bit of the other person's advice, because it's probably going to be really, really bad. But I wanted to do these type of videos because I see people like Mr. Atheist and stuff do videos like this, and I think it's important. But I think it's also important to have a point of view from someone who's been in that situation. And as hard as it is for me to do that, I'm going to try. Don't know how long I'll do it, or how often, or what, but give it a shot, I guess. So yeah, basically this lady wrote into this other lady saying, my husband and I have been married for 9 years. When I was pregnant with our first child, we sat down and had a discussion about sex. He told me while I was pregnant there would be times where I probably wouldn't want to have sex, and if he did, I understood, and I would fulfill my duty and his desires. Well, it all went downhill from there. Of course it did. You give a man an inch and they take a mile. Not all men, but these kind of men. I understand the Bible states. I understand what the Bible states. I am a Christian. However, he is not. That being said, when sex began to be painful because of pregnancy, he didn't care. He would receive the comment, I would receive the comment, it'll only take a few minutes, I'll be quick. That's like saying like, oh, just the tip. I just want to put the tip in. I just want to see how it feels. Yes, I've gotten that before. And I'm probably sure a lot of women have. Pretty much every woman I've ever talked to has gotten something like that. Whatever it took, I didn't hold a grudge. I got past it. The problem is it has never stopped. My husband has had sex with me whether I wanted it or not, all the time. It's tainted our marriage and our sex life to the point of disgust. Even when I would cry, he would still have sex with me. Even I can read a book, he'll still have sex with me. I've tried to tell him how it makes me feel. I've begged and pleaded with him not to do this to our marriage. And I feel like his whore or his piece of trash. He doesn't care. Damn. Like, it just reminds me of my marriage. Because, like, I didn't grow up super Christian, but it was something like I grew up Catholic, and I like, did Bible study with Jehovah's Witnesses. And I think there was just something about, like, the trauma of my childhood that I kind of, like, clung on to religion. My therapist actually thinks it was, like, a form of OCD for me, because I believed if I didn't pray every single night, not only would I die, but the whole world would end. And I had made, like, pacts with God, like, if you don't destroy the world while me and my family are alive, I'll save myself from marriage, that kind of thing. And when I found this asshole who basically raped me, I felt obligated to marry him because God told me. So if you could imagine, if you start off a relationship like that, you're gonna enter a marriage like that. So, like, the crying part, like, the pain part, like, I totally get that. Not really the book part, but maybe, like, watching TV or doing something else, because it, like, ugh. And the disgust part, like, I remember just, I never enjoyed it with him. I never had an orgasm, like, and, like, the guy after him was, like, a lot taller, but a lot, like, smaller, and I was able to have an orgasm with him, and not the guy with, like, a huge dick, you know what I mean? But because the not just the emotional attachment, but just he did not care. You know what I mean? I have told him this is not love. This is not biblical love. I do not feel loved, and he does not care. I hate when he touches me. It literally makes me sick to my stomach. I became so deep in depression because of it. I am sad and heartbroken, and after we have sex, sometimes he actually will ask, "What's your problem?" Fuck. Sorry, just making me, I even went so far as to get drunk so I could have sex with him. Guess what? He thought it was the best idea ever. So he would make sure I would have enough alcohol in me to have sex. Even when I said I wanted to stop drinking, he would always make sure the fridge was full. When I begged to see a counselor, I would get a guilt trip of 100 reasons why I shouldn't or couldn't. I was so numb to it. I would put a pillow over my face and just get it over with. I was trying to be a godly wife. So please tell me how this is not sin. How is this not rape or abuse of some sort? Because in my mind, I feel like I'm living with a molester every day. Yes, he says he's sorry, but he does try to get me in the mood. You can definitely tell when he wants it. It is the only time he comes up from behind me and holds me in nonstop comments. Why don't you come sit on my lap? Gross. And if I don't have sex with him on sight, and whining is so overwhelming, it's becoming a punishment. When I become upset after sex, I get, "You told me I could do it. I don't know why you're so upset." I can go on and on. So as a Christian woman, do I keep taking it, literally, and keep smiling, keep the smile on my face, pretending everything is okay when it's killing me inside? And just a side note, I'm not a feminist. I'm very biblical when it comes to God's way, and not being in this world, but of this world. Oh God. So I do get what you're saying about not denying your husband of sex. But what do you do when it has turned into what I consider, sorry, I cannot, like, read right now, what I would consider rape? Yes, that's rape. I'm, like, I don't know. When you're obviously not into it and you're only giving it to him because he wants it, and you're crying and you're, like, upset over it, and, like, you obviously don't want it, but you're saying yes anyways because they're, like, pressuring you so much, it's still kind of rape. You know what I mean? Like, don't have sex with people who don't want to have sex with you. It's kind of like a guideline of mine. Like, obviously, it's not the same kind of rape as like someone taking you down the alley and like putting a knife to your throat. But like in the case of my ex-husband, it was do this or I will find someone who will. And if I do, you can leave. And you can go move back in with your mom. Oh yeah, that's right. Your mom doesn't want you either. So I guess you'll be homeless. Is that what you want? The fuck was I supposed to do? And like, part of me like started going to like comfort food and stuff to like kind of like not have to deal with it. And he wanted me to go back to like bulimia and anorexia anyways, so I think I just went like fuck you and just eat more. And like, I wonder if part of it was because like I wanted to become disgusting to him, but when that happened, like he just started watching porn while he was using me, so it just kind of made it a lot worse. But yeah, this shit is so fucked up. My response, I'm going to take what I see in her story and try to break it up into various questions that are raised by both her husband's behavior as well as hers. What's wrong with having sex with his wife while pregnant and in pain? It depends. Had he had sex with her in the last few days, perhaps he would have put her needs not to experience more pain and discomfort ahead of his need for sex. But if she's been in pain for weeks or months and he finally came to her and said, babe, wait, I need this, I promise it'll be quick, then she should have put his needs for sex above her need to not experience additional discomfort. Jesus Christ. Sometimes though a woman cannot have vaginal intercourse for medical reasons beyond just discomfort. For instance, most doctors advise women to not have sex, after birth because, ouch. Okay, here's what's wrong with, was the husband wrong for having sex with his wife, even though he knew she did not want to? As I have said before, I've never advocated for a Christian husband to force himself upon his wife, but contrary to what feminists and what other marital rape accusers say, there's a difference between a husband convincing his wife to let him have sex with her and physically forcing himself upon her. Yeah, there's a difference, but not a huge one. Like I said earlier, like you can still make a person not want to have sex with you, but feel like they need to in order to like keep their house or keep their kids. He could be threatening her like, oh, well, get out and I'll keep the kid, some shit like that. Like, emotional manipulation is still a fucking thing. And like I said, just don't have sex with people who don't want to have sex with you. Like, how do you even get off on that anyways? Like, I would rather just fucking masturbate than have sex with somebody who's not into it. Like, really? That's disgusting. Like, I don't understand. Like, I have never been so horny that I'm like, I know you're not really, like, enjoying yourself, but I'm gonna get, like, you could just shut up. Like, I don't care. I'm fucking you anyways. No. Like, especially, I don't know. And I've been with women. And I made sure they really enjoyed it. And I liked when they enjoyed it. I liked when they came. And I liked when they fucking liked it. You know what I mean? That got me off. I just don't understand, like, somebody just laying there and just being, like, sad and, like, crying or, like, in pain or ugh. And then I hate this fucking quote from the Bible. The woman hath not power over her own body but the husband, and likewise. Yeah, but you never fucking talk about, like, honestly, let's say the wife was like, okay, babe, I'm gonna do, this thing to you. That he's like, I'm not really down for that. And she's like, Yeah, but you know, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like sticking my fist up your ass. So, like, you know, your body's not yours, it's mine, so I can do that. That's fucking weird. He treats me like a whore. Oh, question 3 was her husband treating her like a whore. He treats me like a whore. He treats me like a prostitute, and he only wants me for sex. Are 3 common statements that we hear from wives, Christian and otherwise, about their husbands frequently online and elsewhere. He doesn't want to romance me anymore. He doesn't want to talk to me or spend time with me outside the bedroom. When a wife expresses these sentiments, it comes from a place of feeling like their husbands have not earned the right to have sex with them. Only when the husband makes them feel like what they once did. Yeah, I'm sorry. Somebody should earn the right to have sex with you. Because that's kind of like, are they always talking about, like, don't just give it to everybody? So, like, once a guy puts a ring on your finger and you, like, say a couple words, like, he can just treat you however he wants and, like, fuck you however? Really? Like, no, there should be more to it than that. Like, at least in my book. Like, it's fucking weird. A husband should know his wife, and part of this is knowing the wife is talking to one's wife. Well, at least she says that. But I wonder how, like, she considers talking to the wife. Like, is it do this, do that, like, cook and clean? So if a woman's husband fails to talk to the wife outside of when he wants sex, but on a regular basis, getting to know what is going on in her life, getting to know what was going on in her life a daily basis. What? Then he is wrong. Well, at least you're saying, like, at least have sex with the people that you're talking, or at least talk to the people you're having sex with. But still fucking weird. Like, really? What the fuck is wrong with you? The 2 greatest lies Satan tells women regarding sex and marriage. For the wrestle of the flesh and blood. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in higher places. We are in a battle with Satan. Of course we are. Hail Satan. Who uses our sin nature to try and deceive us each and every day. The devil wants to destroy marriage because marriage represents the relationship between God and his people. No, it doesn't. It resembles, like, a contract 2 people make in the eyes of the fucking government. He wants to make a mockery of it. I'm pretty sure you guys did that in the Bible with, you know, marrying your rapist and then, like, marrying your rapist and, like, marrying a bitch and then, like, taking her as property and, like, taking all the concubines and stuff too as extras, and then, like, if the guy dies and, like, the bitch goes to the brother and stuff, and I'm saying bitch as if, like, their property because, like, that's kind of how it is in the Bible. How a fucking woman can be a Christian is beyond me. And, like, actually read this shit. Because, like, I didn't really read this shit when I was younger. And once I did, I was like, what the actual fuck? So, yeah. The first lie Satan tells to unmarried women, if he makes you feel loved, then by all means give your body to him. Enjoy great sex based on your passion for one another. Yes, do that. Because it doesn't matter. You're not going to hell if you like each other and you both want to have sex, then just fucking have sex. Jesus Christ. You don't need to be married. You don't. Follow your feelings wherever they lead you. I wouldn't go that far, because sometimes, like, your brain is just fucked up and tells you weird things like, hey, what would happen if I, like, ran across the street? Like, and there's cars coming. Well, I know what would happen. Bad things would happen. Or, like, what would happen if I just, like, punched that guy in the face? Well, I know what would happen. The bad things would happen. So you don't just do whatever you want. That's weird. No. The minute he stops making you feel loved, dump him and move on to the next romance. I wouldn't go that far, but if he starts treating you like shit, yeah, dump his ass. This does not make you a whore. Whores have sex with men just... Whores have sex with men just to have sex. Not really. Whores have sex for money, and even then, who fucking cares, because it's none of your business anyways. You're having sex based on your feelings of love and noble... And that is noble and right. I wouldn't say it's noble and right. It's just fucking human biology. People want to fuck. But remember the golden rule. You don't do anything you don't like doing. Yes! That is a good rule. Don't do anything you don't feel like doing. How is that a bad thing? How is this bitch trying to say that that's a bad thing? Like, are you fucking serious? So what does she want? Like, people to only do things that they don't want to do? Like, I know sometimes you're going to do things you don't want to do. Like, get up and go to work. Get up and, like, feed the cat. Or some other stupid shit like that. Like, you have daily shit that you have to do. But, like, when it comes to sex and stuff, don't do anything you don't want to do. And you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. It took me a long time to realize that. But it's fucking true. Ugh. This is fucking... So yeah, I'm sure this bitch just goes on and on. Oh, God. Okay, well, at least she says it was wrong for her to get her drunk. But probably... Oh, because, you know, drunkenness is sinful. Does this rise to the level of allowing divorce? No, of course not. Of course you can't divorce him. Is her husband raping her? Aside from physically harming her by forcing her upon it, it's not abuse from the biblical perspective. Oh my God. Ugh, this is just disgusting. Well, at least, I was gonna say at least she thinks they should go to counseling, but they should see a Christian marriage counselor, which is fucking bullshit anyways. Ugh. What a piece of shit. Like, I'm done. But, yeah. Like, if you actually watched this, and it's gone on almost 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. I know I cussed a lot in this, and I talked about a lot of really personal shit that I don't know if I've ever really said out loud on this channel. I've kind of, like, talked about stuff and beat around the bush a little bit. But, yeah, this video was difficult, if you couldn't tell, because I got tongue-tied and shaky, and I'm less shaky now, which is nice. And I really hope my roommates didn't hear everything I just said, because that would be awkward. And I managed to look at mostly the camera and the words on the screen rather than focusing on my face, so that's a good sign, because usually I do that because I get self-conscious about the way I look, and even now I'm trying to look in the camera even though I can see my peripherals of myself in the corner. Anyways, yeah, I know I talked like fast in certain points because I get nervous and shit, but yeah, this shit really bothers me for obvious reasons. And like, oh my God, okay, before I let you guys go, even if you guys are still here, some of the comments are fucking crazy. Hold on. Let me see. There was one that I read. Where do you see in this scripture that a man cannot rape his wife? Because it's never been addressed. Each person is told not to withhold sex. Jesus Christ. There was one. And it's not here. That's really weird. Okay, hold on. Let me... Okay. Oh, older comments. Newer. Oh, God. That might take a while to find. But I saw one that was basically like, oh, people these days don't want to call it rape because, you know, people don't want to take into account, like, the Bible, the word of the Bible. Well, okay. At least some of these comments are actually good. I mean, her comment back is probably fucking stupid. I don't know. This is fucking stupid. Oh, marital rape doesn't exist. There is a certain relationship. There are certainly relationships and marriages that are abusive. And to abuse your spouse, blah, 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 blah. Abuse is never okay. Well, at least there's that, but rape is okay, so that's fucking weird. Jeez. Ugh. Yeah, I need to end this soon because I'm getting all, like, irritated and stuff, but that's just fucking crazy. So this is my first, like, response video to something, and it was difficult and long. So, yeah, I think I got the audio under control, so if everything went smoothly, let me know. Hopefully I don't get a lot of hate for this, because that would suck, because, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure some people would find this shit funny. Because, like, look at her, who would rape her? Or, like, if it was really that, like, she would have gone to the police. And trust me, I wish I would have. And it's been, like, 10 years, so I think the statute of limitation is up for that. At least in California. I don't know how it works. And then, like, there's a whole, like, process of it and stuff. And, like, at this point, it's all, like, he said, she said. And there's no proof. And I don't know. Maybe if I could find, like, the gynecologist that I had during the time who basically said, like, shit was coming up abnormal because he was being too rough with me and that kind of, and, like, my old, not therapist, it might have been my old therapist or I think my psychiatrist. She wanted to put me on antidepressants and I couldn't go on it because I was on the pill and it was going to make the pill less effective. And she was like, so just have him use condoms. And I was like, I can't make him use condoms. She was like, then don't have sex with him. And I was like, I can't stop him from doing that either. And she was just like, what? And I was like, what? And I never saw her again. And I thought it was just like, that bitch, like, fuck that bitch. Like, she should respect my right and blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize she was, like, actually trying to help me. But, yeah, this shit, I don't know. It's been a rough week. So, this kind of stuff has already been on my mind. And I feel like I needed to talk about it anyways. And I'm probably going to post this when I know my fiance went to sleep. Because I'm afraid of him, like, seeing it. Like, he's not going to get mad that I posted it. Like, because he wants me to, like, vent to him whenever I'm feeling it. But I just always feel awkward, like, with these kind of videos. Like, when people I know are watching it and stuff like that. Because, like, I still have a hard time saying it with him. Even though he says it, like, I made a joke about my ex, like, oh, he was pretty much an incel if it wouldn't have been for, you know, him, you know, fucking me. And he was like, no, he was more than an incel. He was one step above an incel. He was a fucking rapist. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like the first guy who's ever been able to actually say that my ex raped me. And I had heard it from women before, and I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, okay, no, my ex-husband actually was the first one who said it. He admitted it. He was like, yeah, first time we had sex, I raped you. And looking back now, I don't know if it's the time that I remember or the night that I don't, around Valentine's Day, but I'll never know. But, like, the ex after him didn't want to hear about it at all. So he got uncomfortable whenever I would mention it. So I think that's why it took me so long to, like, start dealing with it, because for 4 years I was with this other guy and he didn't want to hear about it. And he would just give me, like, a pain pill to, like, help me not think about it, which caused other problems. So, yeah, I'm sure I'll make more videos and more will come out, and I'll probably look like a fucking crazy weirdo because I've been through so much shit. It doesn't even, like, I don't know. It's a lot of shit, so people will probably think I'm just making it up, but I kind of wish I was, because that would be better. I think just when you have an abusive childhood, like, you're more likely to be abused as an adult because you're more likely to put up with certain shit and think you deserve certain shit. I cussed a lot in this video, so I apologize. And if anybody has actually watched this whole thing, thank you. I'm gonna end this now before I keep rambling on, so see you guys next time. Bye.